Veterinarian. Not many suggestions from the readings were directed toward the healing of animals, but no ingenious human being will let his beloved pet suffer, if he has any idea of how to relieve his discomfort. 4 stories have come to my attention, all from patients who have been working with their own bodies at a creative http://worldwideweb.edgarcayce.org/health/data/data/catharup1.html 53 of 69, 10 hours 23 minutes and 44 seconds p.m. Edgar Cayce Health Database, anecdotal case reports, remedies, products. Level of healing. 3 of these, incidentally, deal with that most common treatment in our experience, castor oil packs. The other comes from a woman who grew up on a farm, where she was in charge of the horses. An old friend of the family was a vet who often came to visit her. He would talk to Sarah, giving her little jewels of wisdom about the care of horses. One day Sarah had a headache, and the vet told her that, if she would lay her head on the side of the horse, her headache would go away. It did. The old vet told her, too, that, if a horse cut itself on a barbed wire fence, the scar from the injury would produce gray hair, if nothing were done about it. But, he informed her, if she would bathe that cut in castor oil every day, until it healed, the hair would grow back in its natural color. Sarah discovered that this application always worked, and she found it interesting that castor oil was of as much value to her animals as it had often been to herself. Another story deals with a lesion on a dog's back. The lesion grew rather rapidly and did not respond to any cleansing or ointments applied to the troubled spot. Grace, the dog's owner, thought about taking her dog to a vet, but she decided to try using castor oil first. She immediately started applying the oil liberally to the diseased area, which had grown to be almost 3 inches in diameter. Results came rapidly. The next morning the dog no longer scratched at the lesion, and within 3 days the healing process had become clearly evident. After a few more days, the therapy was no longer needed, and the dog's hair had grown back. Not many of you own a duck, so you will probably not have the opportunity to treat one, but you may find this duck story interesting. It comes from Mary and Art, both A.R.E. members, who moved north and became part-time farmers. Gradually they stocked their farm with many animals, including some ducks. One day Mary noticed that one of their ducks was walking with a limp, a duck limp. Investigation showed a growth and a swelling on the middle toe of one of the duck's feet. The growth had become quite large, and the new farmers were concerned about it. Mary had many times used castor oil herself for a variety of problems, so she fashioned a duck's foot glove, soaked it with castor oil, placed it on the ailing foot and covered it with plastic. The treatment was administered twice a day, for 3 days, each application lasting an hour or 2. Finally the swelling decreased markedly and no more therapy was needed. Within a few days the foot was normal again. Left square bracket note, the preceding report was provided by William McGarry, M.D. and is excerpted from the A.R.E. Journal. March, 1977, Volume 12, No. 2, page 81, copyright 1977 by the Edgar Cayce Foundation, Virginia Beach, Virginia, right square bracket.